Chia chia. I needed a big push like that, a big run with this team that is, in my opinion, the best team for Master League right now. Now the meta changes, things get switched up all the time. Big shout out to Rocha Babyface 1. This is his team. This is what allowed him to stay on top. #1 in the world on the Go Battle League leaderboards 2 days in a row. Shout out Thunder Lions. This strategy is from a battler that has now stood very tall in the Sylph tournament rankings and now Go Battle League World Leaderboard. And what was so gangster about his strategy, because I asked about the mirror matchup, you lead Giratina, and he said just go for Ominous Win, and I said, are you sure? He says shield advantage is way more important than switch advantage, which we know is not always the case in battle. But for all of you that are out there complaining about the meta, yes, it's a very small condensed amount of Pokemon, but sometimes you can use that to your advantage. So everyone has Dialga. Everyone is using Dialga as a safe switch. You can bring in Rhyperior and completely farm down Dialga and only use one shield to protect yourself, and then you have double Rock Wrecker or you have Surf against other Pokemon. Rah, rah, like a Thunder Lion. And he didn't have to tell me his team when I messaged him. I saw him posting on Twitter about him hitting #1. He told me his team. I told him it's off the record. I'm not even going to post a video. He told me he already gave the footage of him being #1 in the world to Kiengiv, and King posted that today, 6 hours ago. And I did some of these games last night. As you can see, it's late. And then I did more games today. And I did notice already teams just like this. So the meta shifts, and it's important to counter the meta. And it's okay that those darn YouTubers are giving out those strategies, because it's going to evolve PvP overall, even though Master League is very limited in the total Pokemon you can use. You know, there's always going to be some skill in PvP. Now, I don't like this Dialga lead. I do switch out. And the good news is my Dialga is best buddy. And I did a little bit of extra chip damage with the quick move on Giratina, so I know I can throw one Iron Head and beat this Giratina, and usually my opponent would shield. So because he didn't shield, I didn't shield, and you can see I just barely farmed down, and now I have switch advantage. We still have 2 shields each, and he brings in Giratina, and then I can just bring in my Giratina, I think is the right call. As you can see, I took a moment to think about it for the switch clock, but also I'm not sure. And I do have the option to have this Giratina as my best buddy, and I almost did for the lead matchup, but because Rocha Baby says he doesn't shield the lead matchup, I didn't bother doing best buddy. And I do use my first shield to protect Giratina, and then I let the next Dragon Claw in. I'm able to now build up some extra energy, and I go for the Shadow Ball. And he shields this Shadow Ball, and I think, great, this is over. I just switched to Rhyperior, not even really knowing how good it is, because Rhyperior was always one of those Pokemon that I didn't fear. I used Kyogre in preseason, and for some reason I haven't ran Kyogre in Season 1 because I've been trying to make this Garchomp, Melmetal, Dialga team work. You may debate Surf or Superpower, but I give the respect to the creator of the strategy, even though I may have guessed Superpower, and it doesn't appear that Surf does that much damage to Melmetal. You can see 2 Surfs, and just the super effective quick move damage is going to bring Melmetal extremely low. And then I don't risk debuffing myself with Superpower, and I can take a Superpower. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to take a Superpower from there, but if my Rhyperior is full health and a Melmetal does Superpower, then my Surfs and my Mud Slaps are going to do that much damage. So this is a very close match. You would say I lost the lead, and I'm able to pull it out. It felt like I just was not going to get to Ominous Win, but I pull out the victory with a sliver of health, being able to farm down. And I won that match because I felt gangster. As I said about Rocha Baby, I didn't feel pressured to shield. If he just superpowered my Rhyperior, then maybe he wins that matchup. Now here we go, another Dialga lead, which I don't like, but he brings in the Kyogre, which is really good for me because I do not want that Kyogre to get a hold of my Rhyperior. These late night games is before Kiengiv dropped the video, and in my final 2 sets the video had been out for 6 hours and I actually started seeing mirror matchup teams. So think about countering Rhyperior and Dialga because it's going to be a problem going forward. I don't even know if it's going to work for me, tomorrow when I get my sets, but very happy to finally climb above 2,900. Shout out to all of you subscribed. Thank you for joining us today. Click the like button. I know I didn't post a lot of my Ultra League progress. I did climb up to over 2,600. I didn't even max out my games daily because of some of the lag issues and I just wasn't feeling PvP, but I did get over 2,600. For Master League, I climbed over 2,800 and did over 100 battles on Merrill Day. I did complete 100 battles and I did max out my games almost every day for Master League, all 25, the 101 day on Merrill Day, and I've just been getting over 2,800, dipping below 2,800, but this team gave me the push. I went from 2787 to 2909 in 4 sets, and I just want to do some more games. I want to hit rank 10. I do get KO'd by Ironhead, but guess what? We've got Rhyperior. And then Rhyperior is going to be able to surf. Now let's just say I threw a superpower there, right? Well, I think that it's game over because I'm about to get hit with a superpower. But our new favorite Master League Pokemon is going to be able to somehow survive, and I get off an extra surf to win the game. I definitely thought that I was going to lose that game, and I'm just like, I can't wait to message Rocha Babyface 1 because that was incredible. Now I said I went 4-1, 4-1, next day 5-0, 4-1 for 17-3. My best run since the opening evening of Ultra League, and this strategy is key for hanging onto your shields and bringing Rhyperior in as soon as possible. If you let Dialga get too much energy, it's going to be able to get off a second Ironhead. So you want to invest 1 shield and farm all the way down. But because I was a little slow, maybe a little too happy when I realized Giratina beats Heatran, I was just too slow on the switch, and that allows Dialga to get a second Ironhead off. So that is probably going to cost me. Machamp is concerned about the charge move, knows it can survive this next surf. He knows I'm out of energy, has a Machamp, super effective, and down goes Rhyperior, but I have an opportunity to make this a game. I am down shields, but can I farm up a lot of extra energy with our Giratina? Rock Slide does a decent amount of damage, and I fire off the ominous wind. And does this Heatran shield? Ooh, sometimes when you bait, you lose. Because now I'm going to fire off the Shadow Ball, and I should have just switched into Dialga. I won the CMP tie, but I'm not able to sub out Giratina. So I actually should have just banked that extra energy or fired off another ominous wind. But, this is definitely going to hurt. It's going to be close, right? I don't remember if this is my loss. Is this my win? I go for the farm down, and then I realize I'm not going to get to it. And then, it's just too little too late. I shouldn't have thrown the bait. Those are the things that you hate, right? It can cost you games, and, throwing bait cost me that game. Very close. This team was even successful at lower ratings. Today I told Scrub Lord Dustin, and he was streaming on Twitch on the J Farmakis channel, and he jumped up like 150 points with the same team. And people did ask about Togekiss. Now Togekiss is obviously really good against Giratina, but my Giratina is not trapped, right? So I'm able to get my Giratina out, and I know that I can survive 1 superpower, and I should win the CMP because of my attack stat on Dialga. So I always wait and let the Melmetal throw their superpower, and then I frantically tap on Draco Meteor, and you'd be surprised how many times they don't shield. And if they do shield, that's great because we've got another shield out of our opponent. So we have the shield advantage, and we have two Pokemon that are very good. Now, for a moment, you thought maybe Rhyperior, but Giratina is so good against Melmetal. Like, I'm able to farm up extra energy for this Togekiss because I want to hit it with a Shadow Ball. So I'm actually going to throw the Shadow Ball and try to KO Melmetal. If they shield, then the shields are gone. And they don't want a shield, right? They want Togekiss with a shield, but I have enough energy to throw another Shadow Ball. And he does shield, and then I can just bring in my Rhyperior and have a very good matchup and resist the charge moves from Togekiss. Now, at some point in your life, you have to use a shield. That was a good no shield, and I'm going to be able to win this matchup and show you the damage from Rock Wrecker on a Giratina. Even though she's going to throw two Ominous Winds, I don't mind shielding them. I'm going to farm up the energy that I need and get rid of this Giratina. But after I do shield the second Ominous Wind in the moment, I'm like, uh-oh. But I can't not shield. That's what I saved those shields for. Again, the charge move from a Togekiss isn't going to do anything, and I was very happy to realize that I could just farm down the Giratina and then destroy with a Rock Wrecker. And boom, there is the first 4-on-1. Whoa, watch out for Gemma Banks' crazy editing skills. Cheer cheer. And if you're watching this video, it means a lot because I know that I just screen record. And I always have just tried to make PvP a better community. I've always tried to learn and be a student of the game myself. And I really resisted and fought leading Giratina. I even was judging other people that led Giratina because I kept leading either Melmetal or Garchomp, but I was wrong. And we are wrong in our strategy sometimes, but as long as you're learning, getting better, and I do feel for those people that don't have Master League Pokemon, the Go Battle League rewards are going to help you build up your inventory and your rewards, and you'll be able to battle in Great League for the final week of Season 1, and I wish you all the best of luck. PvP is skill, though, it's not luck. There was a big debate about that on Twitter. There is always some luck in life, but if you are skillful, if you're willing to learn, you'll get better. And we get rid of those shields. Down goes Rhyperior, and, you know, he did his job. He got rid of that shield. That Kyogre knew how much damage Rock Wrecker was going to do. And I am going to risk it, survive the surf, and go for the Shadow Ball. I really miss using Giratina. I did use Best Buddy Giratina in preseason because my Dialga was not a Best Buddy at that time, and I just really enjoy hitting things with Shadow Ball. That's why Haunter is such a popular pick, a fan favorite in Great League, and I think this is a Sand Tomb. This is a Pokemon I've learned to use pretty well, actually. Garchomp. But that was a good shield. I had to shield it. Also realize when you're going to try out new teams, it's not going to go as smooth as this Rhyperior video. I made a Melmetal and a Garchomp this season. I watched House Stark use it. I heard about House Stark doing really well with the Garchomp lead, and I was up and down with it. And there's always going to be a learning curve when trying out new teams and new Pokemon, so that's part of it. So I go for the Dracor Meteor and hope Heatran does not shield. I don't shield. I'm not concerned about shielding. I have the power within, the knowledge, the cojones to save my shields. And I do figure that I'll resist this, but I haven't taken charge moves with Giratina from a Heatran, and that would have probably been a good no shield, but it allows me to farm up some extra energy and then fire off a Shadow Ball. And down goes Heatran. In comes Dialga, and I know this feeling. Having Melmetal and Dialga fighting something like a Rhyperior. As you can see, he's going to have to throw a superpower to KO me. So I'm going to save my shield because I know it's not going to KO me. He throws the bait, which is a huge mistake, and now he's going to throw the superpower. And I'm going to be able to farm up energy. I realize a Surf is not going to do much to a Dialga, but I'm just hoping to get rid of that shield and then also just farm down and hope that I can get it within Shadow Ball range, Ominous Wind range. Hanging onto that shield won me this game. Yes, yes, y'all, fire a Shadow Ball. Everyone and their grandmother has PvP advice these days. Use these 3 Pokemon, they work, but do they really work? Like, I couldn't post my Garchomp team and say that it works just because I'm hovering around 2800. It would just be me showing you my games. So be very cautious when people are telling you what to invest your Stardust in. And here's that mirror matchup. I made sure that was the second question that I asked him. What do you do in the mirror match? And I still just couldn't believe when he said Ominous Wind. Now what I've been trying to do is I try to build up for the Shadow Ball and click the Ominous Wind right as the Shadow Ball is coming up for the very first one. And then if I get the shield, I don't care. I just want to do any extra damage I can. I'm okay with hanging on to 2 shields because I know I can farm down with Dialga. Oh no, my opponent got the boost. And this is going to cause concern because I don't want to get hit with a Shadow Ball. And normally I wouldn't have to use a shield in this scenario, but sometimes the boost happens. And that Ominous Wind would have actually done a lot of damage to my Dialga. So down goes 1 shield. Let's see if he uses a superpower. I did try to get my Dialga out because I realized how low a superpower is going to bring my Dialga. So this is going to be tough to overcome. Again, that boost was very scary. Now, we do have shields down, and I know I'm going to be able to farm this down because this is a similar scenario when the opponent does the safe switch into the Dialga. Shield the 1, and then I'm going to farm all the way down, and it's just so close. And then fire off Surf, and hope that I can get off another Surf. And I do, which is great. And now I really enjoy fighting Melmetals because they're so tempted to do superpowers versus my Dialga and my Rhyperior. It's going to make them potentially farmable or just do less damage, and I can farm up extra energy in different scenarios. Now, I lost because of that boost, and it happens. Don't dwell. It really does suck. But you gotta go on to the next game and continue a winning streak. So this is the matchup that I wanted to see the most. And I expect him to switch out the Melmetal, but he doesn't. As you can see, I'm ready to switch to Rhyperior ASAP. But he's gonna mess around. I'm gonna fire off a Shadow Ball. And this is not a good scenario for the Melmetal to be in. He might have thought I was gonna get tricky and go for the bait, but I had to go for the Shadow Ball. I know that I can take this Rock Slide. And then an Ominous Wind is actually going to KO. As you can see, I wisely farm up a little extra energy. And then just see what he brings in next. And I do bring in the Rhyperior. Part of me thought to just charge up and go for a Shadow Ball, but I kind of wanted to keep my Giratina alive. And that might be a mistake. We'll see how the match plays out. And I do figure I'm in a lot of trouble, so I just let the Cross Chop through. And the Machamp farms up a little extra energy, but I still have the shield advantage. So I think that was key in this gameplay, is just maintaining and keeping the shield advantage. It allows me to shield my Giratina and then go for the Shadow Ball. And I possibly could have just gone for the Ominous Wind. He does not shield. I'm pretty glad I didn't bait. And here is a lesson for everybody. A charge move does do 1 turn of damage. So in a scenario like this, you may be tempted to throw the Iron Head, but you can actually just farm down. Now, it's a good thing that Iron Head does not KO. And I just didn't even bother using the charge move. Now in that scenario, it didn't matter. I would have won if I threw the Iron Head anyway. But there are some matches that I win when my opponent still has shields remaining. And this is a matchup I'm very familiar with. I really liked having Garchomp versus a Giratina because you can bait, you can go for the Outrage, and I know how much damage Outrage does. But I trusted the strategy. Oh man, I got the boost, It doesn't matter because I'm not going to shield. I don't get the ominous win. The good news is they had to use their energy and they couldn't farm me down because I got the boost. But I wasn't going to use my shield. I was going to trust the strategy and farm down with Dialga. Now, I think to myself, I could get by. I don't need to shield this, but an outrage does hurt. My gut instinct was right. It was Sand Tomb. Little visual glitch there, and we see Heatran. I bring in Rhyperior right away, and I am extremely pleased because I know this matchup. We can easily just use the one shield, farm all the way down, because Rhyperior was in battle before Dialga, so there's no way this Dialga can get the extra energy. And I was maybe tempted to throw a charge move. It actually doesn't matter. Heatran wins the CMP tie. All that energy is going to waste. I am feeling bad right now because I wanted to double surf the Heatran. So we're going to get the shield from the Heatran. He figures, why not? I've got one more shield. And thankfully, I get to another Iron Head, which is going to do not enough damage. But I farm down. Crazy that I got that win. Another 4-1, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't need to keep using premium passes. I normally don't use premium passes, but I do want a good IV Landorus for Master League. But if I'm going to win 4-1 every set, why don't I just hang on to those premium passes? And if you want to help and donate to Jimma, my Patreon is in the link. We've now had Patreon PvP tournaments. Shout out to Al. He just won his Go Stadium jersey that's going to be shipped to him. I do need to be careful about Garchomp's high attack stat. It's going to win the CMP. I do survive one outrage, but then I'm almost KO'd. As you can see, I don't get to another ominous win. Again, Garchomp wins the CMP tie, but he keeps going for Sand Tomb. He doesn't know I've got a new strategy. And I'm very happy to get off another ominous win. And I'm just waiting for him to outrage me. And it's probably got to be frustrating that I just didn't shield those first. And I'm okay with going down, farming up the extra energy with Dialga, and see what he brings in. I know it could be a Melmetal. I didn't think that it would be a Mewtwo. So I just go ahead and I fire off the energy. And you always got to be concerned about a Mewtwo because you don't know what charge moves Mewtwo may have. And because I'm not sure, I shield, but I should know that a Shadow Ball will destroy me, and he didn't farm up enough energy for a Focus Blast. So I go ahead and I take the first Psy Strike. It's neutral damage to Rhyperior, and I'm very fortunate to get off a Rock Wrecker, because it's going to do just so much damage, and then I'm going to be able to farm down the Giratina and just win. So you can see a strategy that is just too good. And there you go. You've got a pretty good breakdown of what I consider and posted as the best team in Master League right now, and that's because it was the best for me. The best team for you might actually be different, so just keep a clear and educated mind and just focus on what people are doing. Again, there's lots of Twitch streamers, a lot of great content creators out there. Don't forget to check out Kiengiv's video where he posted the actual gameplay from Rocha Babyface 1. Shout out to Thunder Lions one more time. I got a lot of respect for you guys, and the PvP scene is growing and people are getting better. So get your poop in a group, get your teams together, and cheer.